Hi guys, and welcome back to Canadian Flight Sim here. We'll continue our tour of England, the UK update with SkyPark tours, and this is actually going to be our last installment of this series. This is the last little bit with a bunch of view sites all punched into one area. Everything else is a little more scarce, so we're going to finish it off here for our series on the UK. We're sitting here in a airport just outside of Manchester, and that's the plan. We'll tour around Manchester, check out Old Trafford, which is where Manchester United plays, and then move our way over to Liverpool eventually, and then land over in Carnarvon Airport, Carnarvon, something like that. And yeah, so that's the plan for today. We're back in the Piper Aero 3. And yeah, it looks like we've got a nice day. Some clouds out, mostly okay. We're parked right in front of the tower here. It's pretty interesting, but yeah, so let's jump inside the cockpit. Some changes since the last video is that they've now implemented the GNS 750 GPS system. This is from the latest update. If you have this plane, you can get access to this GPS system as well. With that update, you just need this GNS 750 package installed, which is free. If you just Google it for Microsoft Flight Simulator, you should be able to get the free package. And it replaces all of the airplanes that has I think a G1000. It replaces it with this guy. And then the Piper Aero 3 people at Just Flight have also implemented that as well. So that's a nice little addition. It makes things a lot easier, as you'll see when we set it up. It's quite user-friendly, and it's touchscreen, which is quite nice as well. So yeah, we'll do what we usually do. And that's start up the plane. Our parking brake is set. Circuit breakers are good. Alternate air is off. Propeller's fully forward. Avionics is off. Tank is set to the left, which is fine because they're both full. For coolant, we're just gonna go throttle to 25%. Just like that. We'll switch views here and turn our alternator and battery on. Fuel pump goes on and mixture goes to full. We'll let that run there for a few seconds, and then mixture comes off. All the way off to cut. We'll zoom out of there. And then we'll start the plane. So we turn the key. Introduce the fuel in. And there we have it. We are started up. A few things to do after we're up. We gotta make sure we're around 1500 RPM, which we are. And then before taking off, or at least before taxiing, just gonna make sure all of our other systems are checked and running here. So we'll turn our landing lights, pitot heat, turn the ADF on. We'll turn this guy on, although we won't be using it too much. And this is where we'll zoom into our GPS here, our brand new integrated GPS. We'll put in our flight plan. So let me just pull it up here. We are going from Echo Golf CB. So it's very nice because it's touchscreen versus turning the knobs. To Echo Golf Kilo, there we are. That's it. 74 miles. Nothing really in between. And Caernarfon does not have any approach or anything like that. Otherwise, we could go into procedures and put in an approach. But as you can see, if you click on it, we get nothing because there are none. So it's the visual. We'll go into our map here, and then you can see the line is kind of set. We'll follow that a little bit, but then because we're doing some sightseeing, so we won't be following that for the most part exactly. Zoom out of there and select a runway. Well, in order to go to Old Trafford, we'll try to take off at runway 32. We're kind of close to that anyways. So we'll do that. So if we just quickly go to the outside view here. According to my map, the access to runway 32 should be, let's see here. Yeah, it's going that way. So we need a bit of a pushback. So we'll just go hit Control P or Shift P. There we go. Go back far enough for us to maneuver around. And looks like there's a flight school here, Main Air Flight School. It makes sense. It's quite a small airport here. It's not the main Manchester airport. And a lot of the runways, as you'll see when we get flying, it's actually grass runways. And when this guy, so it made landing here earlier a bit difficult, but takeoff should be just fine. So we'll make our way to our runway here. So we'll just take off our parking brakes. Now we're moving towards the fueling station, which is over there. Let's brake a little bit. We are going a bit fast. And then if we just follow this path here, it should take us towards our runway. The taxiways are very, very skinny. It's runway 26 left coming up right over here. As you see the markings in the grass. Like I mentioned, this is a grass runway, so we'll get onto the runway here right by where it says 26 and set our parking brakes on again and just do a final before takeoff checklist. Battery and alternators on, fuel pump is on, alternator is closed, mixture and flaps. Mixture is set. We'll do our flaps to 10 degrees and set up our takeoff trim to neutral. Everything, doors are closed. So then we'll just go ready for takeoff. So let's go a quick look at my map here. So we want to go to Old Trafford, which is actually behind us. So we'll do a quick 180 when we take off to get us there. So alright, parking brakes come off, full throttle. Airspeed's coming alive. Try to stay center line wherever that is. We're about approaching 70 knots. Rotate. And positive rate. Gear up. And flap up. Awesome. And let's begin our left turn towards Old Trafford. And there's the city of Manchester. And there it is, signs for Old Trafford. So we'll straighten out here, kind of trim ourselves downwards a bit, position ourselves to the right of the stadium so we can have a good look at our left side. Try to maintain about 1,000 feet for now. I'm just gonna turn off our fuel pump here. Less than 3 miles to go. You see the high rises there of Manchester. All the different buildings of probably the downtown area. So we'll come in a little high, so we'll come down to about 1,000 feet, I hope is enough to see it. This is where Manchester United plays, if you're a fan of the football club. The stadium looks wonderful though. Just a ton of detail in there. Here it is, coming up to our left. And let's switch to our left view. There it is. Old Trafford, and you can see the United, Manchester United signage there. Oops, sorry. There it is. Wow. Yeah, that looks great. Alright. We'll leave Old Trafford and continue turning to the left because we're going to go south. At least I think it's south. Towards our next waypoint here. I'll tell you guys as we get closer what it is, just in case it doesn't show up. Like we've had in other episodes where these waypoints are in my SkyView app, but it doesn't show up in the actual game. Straighten out. Yeah, once again, try to get ourselves situated at about 1,000 feet here. Few people flying about, multiplayer people. Alright, so what I'll do, just like the other episodes, is I'll tune out here and bring you guys back in as we're approaching the waypoint. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, there you guys can see our next point of interest to check out here. The Jorgen Bank Observatory. Coming up in about 5 miles here. So once again, we'll position ourselves to the right here. We are more in the countryside of England now, of the Manchester area. We're out of the big city, and good place for an observatory, I guess. Trying to descend down a bit lower. You can actually you could see it from quite far away even before the 5-mile point there, so it's must be quite big. So let's have a look here. Oh yeah, wow. Look at that. Big old dish, which makes up the telescope there probably. Let's look out the left side here. See if you can see a little better. It should be coming on to our left shortly. There it is. Yeah, so there's the telescope, I'm assuming. Yeah, it looks quite nice, actually. Big old observatory. Circle back around a little bit. Yep, there's a little front view of it. Quite nice. Alright, and on to the next of our tour here. So I'll bring you guys back in when we are getting close. Alright, welcome back, guys. Welcome to the city of Liverpool. Right, pretty close to Manchester. And we're coming up to Anfield Stadium, where Liverpool football team club plays. It's my favorite football club in the English Premier League, so I'm quite excited to see the stadium in this game myself, and rivals of Manchester as well. So we just went over Manchester United Stadium, and now they're rivals, Liverpool and my favorite team. So a couple of things here to see in Anfield according to my map. Or not Anfield, but at least around Liverpool here. Hopefully they'll start showing up as we get closer. There's one to the left there as well. We'll visit that after we see Anfield here. But yeah, it's a city right on the bay and coast area, so quite an interesting city itself. And a team that's not doing so great at the time of this recording, unfortunately. Just a few weeks ago got eliminated from the Champions League, but you know, last year won the Premier League, Champions League the year before then, so had a good going the last few years. Hopefully they can pick it back up and get back to their winning ways soon enough here. So here's Anfield to our left. There it is. Oops. There we go. Wonderful. LFC, sorry. Liverpool Football Club. Wonderful. And right as we leave Anfield, we approach the Royal Liver Building. It looks quite nice, actually. Quite sophisticated, actually. Yeah, looks quite nice, actually. Once again, we'll put it onto our left window. And yeah, there it is. Wow. Awesome. It looks like a lot of these buildings are like in the water area too, eh? I don't know if that's how it usually is or if that's a flaw in the game, but yeah, anywho, we're gonna start heading towards our destination here now. So There's something to see right around the airport as well, so we'll have a look. But yeah, so next time we catch up, we'll be pretty much close to landing, so I'll see you in a bit. Alright, welcome back. We've traveled quite a bit to the west, and we're coming up on the having trouble pronouncing this still. Caernarfon Castle. Let's go with that. Caernarfon Castle. So we'll go there, check it out. It's actually pretty close to our airport as well, so hopefully as we're scouting out the castle we can see the runways as well, so we can line up to it. We gotta descend quite a bit here because if you look back here, we just went over that huge mountainous area, so I had to climb quite high to get over the hump there. And now it's a matter of coming back down to about 1,000 feet again, so we'll try to get in that range. At the same time, try to keep a lookout for our runway here somewhere. Still gotta get down to see the castle. Gotta get way down. Unless the castle is super, super tiny. Let's turn to our right. Oh, we just rendered in now. Huh. So, we're going pretty fast because of our nosedive, but wow, that looks quite nice actually. Little flags on it, quite green actually. Cool, I'm glad we got to see that. Now let's find this runway of ours, and I think that might be it on the little island. I see the airport lights right there ahead of us, so let's fly over it. Get a good scouting. Scout out our runways here, see what looks good for us. Actually, I think what looks good for us is runway 07, which is the one coming in from the water there. I think that might be our best bet to land at. So what we'll do is we'll line up kind of a downwind pattern. There's the threshold for runway 07 there. So we'll go over the water and come back around. So let's, in the meantime, let's start dumping our speed down a bit. And then for our landing purposes, we need our fuel pump up and running. And what else? We can get our gear down as soon as we can get a bit slower here. Put some distance between us and the airport, and then at the same time we can. Okay, now we're less than 130 knots. We can go down on the landing here. It's gonna dump our speed, which is gonna dump some altitude as well. We can go stage 1 flaps. Actually, we can go full flaps. Gonna turn this heading to about, oops, We'll need a bit more power here. As we kind of adjust our... Getting a little too close to the water, so we'll climb just a tad bit as we come in. So let's go to 1,000 feet. Just to give us a bit more separation between the water, so when we make our sharp turn towards the runway, it won't be too terrible. We're about 4 miles away. We'll push that to about 5-ish. In the meantime, I'm trying to get this heading bug to work for us. I want it to be at 75, because that is the heading of the runway. This is a good reference point for when we turn around. So we're above 1,000 and about 5 miles away now. So I'm just going to do a sharp, let's go to the left. And that's about 0.75. Alright, we've drifted a bit while we were trying to correct ourselves, so let's try to get lined up properly here. And at the same time, oops. And at the same time here, just try to confirm that our flaps are good to Q, fully extended. Try to get our speed into that 75-ish range for landing. There's the runway, just coming into our right side of the windshield here. So we'll slowly make some right turns to correct ourselves. And there's the runway. Two miles away from the airport, at least. Not the threshold of the runway. We don't have any ILS or DME information for the runway itself. And doesn't look like we have any PAPI lights for vertical guidance as well, so just have to eyeball it, you know. Come back on the throttle a bit here. It looks like the parking area is going to be to the right, so we'll turn off to the right when we can. Come back on the throttle so we're in appropriate speed range. There's the threshold. And cut off power and flare a bit. Ooh, a little bumpy. And a bit of wind. Skid it a little bit. Try to see if we can turn off right here. Skid it a bit more onto the grass. It's all good. Let's just find a place to park. I think this will be a good place to park. Right over there. So not the most graceful landing, a little bit of skidding and sliding, but we're down, we're safe, so I'll take it. So, this is our airport here. A nice day right around the water there, so it's not bad. Mountains out in the background there, so it looks pretty nice actually. Quite like the view here, so go back inside the cockpit and turn off our aircraft. So the flaps can come down, fuel pump can turn off, all of our avionics equipment can turn off. That one as well. The GPS will turn off with the actual plane. Electrical wise, the lights, speedo heat, all off. And then mixture off. There goes the plane. Everything is nice and calm. Here, we'll open the window up a little bit. Get some fresh air in there, eh? And even the passengers can get out. There we go. We'll turn the magnetos off. Oops. So we'll want the other way. There we go. Magnetos is off. Switch views, alternator, and battery. And zoom out. We'll have a quick look outside. So we'll go to this view here. That looks nice. So that's it for the tour of England. This is going to be the last video in this UK SkyPark series, so we'll call it a day here. Let me know what you guys thought about the series in general in the comments, and I think for the next one we will start looking into some of the bush tours that are built into the game and try to navigate our way through that. So yeah, so look forward to that coming out sometime soon, and the Twitch streams as well will be posted when I do them. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, thanks for coming along on the journey across the UK here, and then I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.